Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to be getting into some Mega Man 8 ran by Chill Dragoon. Kind of excited for this run, Dragoon. Passing off to you. Have fun. Good luck.
Sounds good. I guess I will just go ahead and get the stuff started. Yeah, it's a fun run. It's one of my favorite Mega Man games, and well, between any of them. But I know a lot of people make fun of it mostly just for the awful voice acting, which is true. But we're gonna be skipping all of that. But yeah. So this run, I think the world record is like 51 minutes. I'm gonna be nowhere near that, but we're gonna have fun and just go through it. One of the most important parts of the game, we're actually getting right here, the Mega Ball. It allows you to basically just do a whole bunch of crazy jumps. The way that everything's, or from what I understand, the way that everything's programmed, basically the ball always drops faster than Mega Man does, and whenever you're on top of the ball and hold down the X button, you'll actually bounce off the ball. So since the ball falls faster than you do, as long as you're holding X, you're pretty much guaranteed to bounce off of it. And that'll come in handy throughout, like I said, the entire run pretty much. Okay, got the first boss coming up here. Hopefully I don't botch this, we'll see how it goes, but basically you can just run your face into it and you'll be good to go. You have to use a charge shot or the Mega Ball to get it to open up. There we go. That wasn't the best, but we'll take it. But yeah, you just keep flinging Mega Balls into it. Alright. Here's Dr. Wily. He's doing Dr. Wily stuff, stealing the evil energy and running off with it. Then we gotta go defeat the 8 Robot Masters and hunt them down. So storyline wise, the robot in the crater is Duo. Dr. Light fixes him up and he comes back to help out later. But for now, he is a mystery robot. Alright, that wasn't too terrible. We're gonna go to Grenade Man first. One weird thing that they had for this game is every single mini boss in the game drops a upgrade for Rush. The one from Grenade Man is the Rush Bike, Rush Cycle, whatever you want to call it, which can be handy in a few stages. It's not used all the time, but it's good enough. Nothing major here, just lots of jumping and shooting. We're not going to encounter it here, but those blue boxes in the previous area, they can fall on top of you, which is something to worry about, but that's not a huge deal. All of these little bombs, if you jump on them, you'll get them to go earlier, so you just repeatedly jump on those. But we're just moving along. Oh crap. Mistimed that, but whatever. This mini boss is quite possibly the most annoying part of the run for me. Basically, it has a tendency to dive underground, and if it does that, it's just a huge waste of time. Like this. Unfortunately, I'm not sure on if there's anything specific that you can do to prevent that. This is one of the worst outcomes. Yep. Oh, there we go. That was
Chat is just saying always marathon luck. It's marathon luck.
Yep. Yeah, that one's never fun to go through. If it doesn't dive at all, then you can go through it incredibly quick, but that's not how this works. So yeah, we're gonna just use Rush Cycle immediately now that we just got it. It'll help out for this section here. Gonna slow down a little bit just so I don't fall. Alrighty. Yep, jump too early. that's the end of Rush Cycle for now. Alright, and here we go. First boss. Grenade Man's pretty easy. One thing that you'll probably notice a lot here, tend not to use a whole lot of fully charged shots, just because the amount of time that it takes to get it fully charged is usually not worth it. A lot of the bosses in this game tend to move around quite a bit. Okay. Destroys the ground. Just gonna keep attacking. It is possible to defeat him before he breaks the ground, but it's usually pretty hard to pull off. And then for the first 4 Robot Masters, you usually want to be towards the center of the room when you defeat them, just so you don't have to walk all the way to the energy at the end. Frostman's kind of weird, because he actually, like, it doesn't go in the middle, but the other 3, yeah, you'll be okay with that. But speaking of Frost, let's go hang out. This is probably one of the more infamous stages in the game. A lot of people know it as the jump, jump, slide, slide type of area. It's got this first snowboarding section in the game. Ah, that was bad. But yeah, Frostman stage is pretty much just entirely 2 snowboarding segments. Got a little bit of an intro section in each, but it's nothing major.
Got a question in chat. Is this being run on the Legacy Collection?
Yeah, Legacy Collection 2. I'm playing on the PS4.
There you go.
Gave myself a little heart attack there. Yeah, if you die on these stages, it really sucks for obvious reasons. Auto-scrolling sections are never fun to die in. But yeah, you probably noticed that I picked up a bolt a little bit ago. That we need 5 of them before we get to the halfway point of the Robot Masters, but we should be a-okay with that. The main benefit for that is there's a item that we can buy in the shop that allows us to slide faster, which will come in handy. Okay, we'll want to be towards the middle here because we're going to get dragged towards the middle anyways. And that's the end of the first part. I'm going to start off immediately by using Rush Cycle. It helps because you can actually force your way through some of the obstacles that are coming up ahead. Like here. Yep. Alright, another elevator segment, and then we're back at the snowboarding. For this weapon, you can have 2 of them on screen at a time. It's usually just helpful to remember when you're going against bosses. weird regional difference. In the US version, there's actually 8 like spike columns at the end there for some reason, and there's only 4 in the Japanese version. No idea why they changed it, because even in the US version, it's pretty hard to die there. But just something weird. So, Crossman's pretty easy. You can basically just keep firing at him, and good to go. You don't really have to worry about dodging anything. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage to you. Okay, and then hopefully we are in the right spot. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, sometimes if you're too far to the left, the energy will just fly over you and you'll have to go walk and pick it up. Which again, isn't a huge deal, but still waste some time. Now we got one of the worst combinations. Trying to use Ice Wave on Tengu Man is a pain sometimes. The way the Ice Wave works is it drops directly below you and then travels along the ground, which doesn't work too well on a flying enemy, but whatever. Okay. So the way that things are originally designed, there's a thing in the center there. We're supposed to go... dagnabbit. Too busy talking. Yeah, there's the thing in the center of the room there. It basically engulfs you in a bubble, and you're supposed to float upwards. But, yeah, that's a pain in the butt. And, oh my goodness. Alright, let's not do garbage, and do better instead. Okay, so another auto-scrolling section here. This one is, yeah, basically just a side-scrolling shooter. One thing that'll pop up from time to time are these capsules. They allow you to use your allies as little bonuses. One thing that people might not know is if you get under half health, more of them will spawn. There's scripted ones to spawn, but then if you're below half health, you'll get extra ones, so you can end up with all 4 of them by the end of the stage if you were doing poorly enough. Or if you just really wanted to have more friends. But yeah, so as you can see, Eddie constantly drops balls down. Beat, if you're charging, he stands directly in front of you, and if you release it, he'll go flying off. Rush is a 3-shot spread, and Auto just kind of throws little grenade-looking things, so... well, rockets. Nothing major here. Probably the worst part about this stage is the mini boss. We're going to want to get Beat specifically, because Beat kind of shreds through the mini boss. I'm just not even going to worry about the other capsule. And then one neat thing about 8, in comparison to the others, is that, why can't I think right now? Sorry, too early in the morning for me. Basically, whenever you're using a weapon, you can actually use the top button triangle or whatever you're playing with, to still fire regular shots, which I always thought was neat in comparison to the older games. Yep, got another ball section here. Alright, that one went better at least.
I've always really liked music in Mega Man 8, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's got probably one of my favorite soundtracks in the series. I know it's not considered like a Mega Man soundtrack by a lot of people, but I still love it.
Yeah, you know, it's just kind of like I was a Genesis kid, you know, like we had a SNES and things like that, but this was actually one of the first games that I played when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one's an absolute delight. Yep. Doesn't help if I'm not doing good though. Okay. So yeah, like I said, it's kind of a pain to hit them, but we'll do what we can. There we go. And then yeah, the evil energy for this one just kind of homes in towards you, so it's not terrible. Alright, I was debating on showing it, but I'm going to, because I need extra life anyways, so we're going to do something amusing in the beginning of the next area. So we're going to Clown Man. Okay, there we go. You shoot a Mega Ball in the mouth of the gate there, it drops you one up. Okay, gonna use some Rush Cycle for a little while. Nothing too serious in this first section.
Well, do you mind if I just like talk about that incentive that we have going for Mega Man 9? Cool. Yeah, I just want to bring up again that we have a bid war open for Slurpy's Mega Man 9 run between the Any Percent and Buster Only. Both items are at $25. They're tied. So if you'd like to get a donation in to kind of skew those values, please, now's the time to do so. Is that a bear?
Yeah.
Can we get bears in chat, please?
Yep, that was a bad shot. There we go. So you'll hopefully not see me use any of the other rush abilities, but I might as well go over them quick anyways. So the second one that you get is basically where Rush goes back and forth across the top of the screen and drops bombs and just does damage on things. The third one is kind of like with Mega Man 7's Rush Search, where it'll just hopefully find you something, but it's usually pretty useless. And then the last one is kind of the same as the second one. Rush goes back and forth across the top of the screen and drops healing items. Hopefully you won't be seeing that one, but I might need to use it against the final boss, because that tends to be how it goes sometimes. This part sucks if you're trying to do it fast. I'm just gonna hang out here for a sec. That. You can essentially just go through that entire section without having to drop into any of the boxes, but I'm just going to play it a little bit safe. Because some of those one box gaps are a pain to jump up through. Okay, for Clown Man, we do have his weakness, but we don't want to use it while he's swinging like that, because you'll get into a basically like a stun animation where you can't really do much to him. So don't want that to happen. There we go. That's fairly decent. Alright, so storyline-wise, Duo has awakened and escaped from the lab. He's going to try and hunt down the evil energy and stuff, so we just need to go try and track him down. Got a little intermission stage, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, we couldn't watch the anime.
Nope.
Shucks.
It's probably a good thing that I'm skipping the next one, because nobody wants to listen to Mega Man scream for like 20 seconds. It's just non-stop screaming. Okay. So for this section, you'll just want to use the flash grenade for a lot of it. Mostly because everything just does 1 point of damage to him, and you'll get the most hits off on him that way. There we go. That was relatively painless. Da, 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 da. Lots of dialogue. Okay. Skip that. And what we're going to do next is head back, and we're going to go to the shop. Alrighty, so we got the speed slide. We're going to head over to what, for me at least, is the most dangerous stage, Astro Man. I absolutely adore the boss, but yeah, his stage kind of is a pain. So everything is on a cycle. Yeah, we're just going to be trying to go through here relatively quickly. There we go. And then we got a maze to go through.
So just politely plugging the incentives again. We actually have Slurpy Ninja in chat who passed off a good luck to you, Dragoon. Not only that, bringing it up again, the fact of the bid war, it's tied to be any percent and Buster only. So if you'd like any percent to win, donate to any percent. If you want Buster only run to win, donate to Buster only. I promise you it would be a bust and run, so...
One thing that kind of stinks about this section is you probably noticed you can't really get ahead of the screen. It'd be much more interesting if you could just try and see if you could wing it, but it's not going to let us. Alright, here comes the pain. This one's kind of tricky to go through, but let's see how we do. Not bad. Just let that slide. can jump up through that gap, but I'm not gonna risk it. Want to save the Meg Balls for later. So I'm gonna save the Meg Balls for later, and then I don't actually use it. Way to go, me.
So we actually received a $1 donation in from Zello with a comment saying, "A dollar and penny saved is a dollar and penny spent to make Slurp lose his weapons." I'm assuming that's going to be going to Buster Only. Thank you very much for the dollar donation. That makes Buster Only in the lead with $26. Any percent, $25.
Okay. So yeah, if you're going against Astro with his weakness, it's super easy. You can stun lock him. This actually isn't going terrible. Normally he has a move. We'll see if he actually does it. There, yep. He was trying to, but didn't work. There's a move where he warps around the top of the screen and then summons a bunch of comets, and that is unpleasant to go through. I pretty much got like the best luck you could get right there. So that worked out pretty well. But yeah, when it gets to the refights, since we'll have his weakness, it'll just be him screaming while being shot repeatedly. Okay, I'm gonna go to Aqua next. One of my favorite songs in the game.
Oh, goodness. We just received another donation, $50 from Deathwing, donating it directly to Any Percent. Thank you so much for the $50 donation.
That might beat out the one.
Yeah, that makes the total for Any Percent $75. Thank you very much.
So yeah, as you've also probably noticed, this is one of the few games where Mega Man can swim. The only other one that I can think of offhand is Mega Man 3 DOS version. And swimming
Good old
is...
Mega Man DOS.
Yep. Yep, crud. This one's a complete pain to fight for obvious reasons. Come on. Oh, I'm cutting it a little close. Okay. Wasn't paying attention, I hope. But yeah, that end point there, you can get stuck on a log and you'll end up just drifting down really slowly and stuff, and it's just not fun.
So I do want to add in the fact that with that $50 donation that we just had come in, that pushed our overall total raise to $803. So thank you very, very much. Also, just want to say Bid Wars again. Any percent's at $75. Buster Only's at 26. So if you want to see Buster Only, please donate for that. Super Mario 64 goal is at $250 raised out of 500. So that's another incentive that we have active currently. So thank you all so much.
Aquaman is one of those weird cases where you don't actually have enough weapon energy to beat him normally. So we're going to do a few extra shots thrown in here and there. But as you can see, get him stunned pretty easily. Not a huge kill. Alright, so Swordman's stage is really weird because it does not feel like a Mega Man stage. Basically, the first half of it is like a training section for the weapons that you got from the first 4 bosses. There's 4 different rooms you have to go to unlock doors, and they all are themed around the previous weapons. It's just strange to me, but yeah, whatever. The game came out a long time ago, so you can't change it now. One thing about the Thunderclaw, it actually does more damage coming back than it does going forward. If I remember correctly, it's just because of invincibility frames and stuff. So you'll want to usually try and jump over something and then have it come back. Yep. This part sucks when you do stupid stuff like that. There we go. Let's take the hit. Okay, one thing you especially want to do in this stage is make sure to actually hit those buttons, because if you don't, it's bad. Because then you have to go through it again. For this section, you just want to... oh my goodness. For this section, you want to check the murals in the back, because there's a combination at the end. And unfortunately I got one of the worst patterns, but whatever. Alright. So, that was easy enough. Let's go fight the boss, or the mini-boss. Nothing major there. You can actually hop on that thing as it's going up, but it's not worth it. It's just kind of neat. Alright, and here's something that looks a lot harder than it is, but... well, of course, now they say I'm gonna die, but you know. We're just gonna be doing ball jumps in this section for quite a bit. One thing that really syncs with this section is if you don't destroy the bats, they can basically latch onto you, and if that does, you're pretty much dead, because the little platform will keep going without you. But yeah, for Swordman, it's a relatively simple fight. The only thing that stinks is he has a move that he does quite often, where you just can't damage him during it. Let's see how often he does it here. Yeah, put it down closer to the middle. That was really lucky too. Been having good luck today. Knock on whatever wood I have nearby. I don't have anything. Everything's plastic. Here's another. Searchman's stage is oddly really short. I don't know why they didn't like do more to pad it out, I guess. It's just the first section you can go through in like a minute, and the second one's not much better. Oh my goodness. Well, you can't go through it in a minute if you keep getting hit. There we go. That was bad. But, gotta keep going.
Oh, we got another donation in. $25 from Searchman with a comment saying, "Do you think you can find me, Dragoon? I see your every move. You know what I also see? Slurpee having no weapons, only a buster." So I'm assuming that is going to go directly to the buster only incentive. Currently makes it $51 to 75. So any percent's in the lead still with 75.
Well, I think we found Searchman.
Hey boy, come
on! So yeah, for this section, you'll generally want to try and find a good way to try and hit two of the bushes at the same time, just to make it easier for yourself. But with the flame sword, it's a pretty easy fight.
Zello in chat says, "How generous of Search to spend his money before blowing up."
Alright, well, that is all 8. Here is everyone's absolutely favorite stage. Entire game. The longest snowboarding section. Well, lava boarding. Metal boarding. Whatever you want to call it. On the plus side, if you die, it has a good song, so... one thing I forgot to mention, if you are having issues with the boarding sections, you can actually ball jump while using the snowboards. Basically, same thing, you just hold down the X button, or the jump button, and just use a Mega Ball. Won't be seeing me use it though. Oh, yeah, that was a little too close. I probably should, but I just never really learned. Alrighty, boarding section's done. Oh, that's too right. Just for funsies, let's get that extra life. Alright, most gimmicky boss. Basically, you just have to find a way to attack upwards. I think you can use the tornado hold, but Mega Ball is usually best for that. And then another thing people might not be aware of, if you hold down the up button whenever you're firing the Mega Ball, you'll fire it at a higher angle. And then for these, you'll want to destroy, if you're trying to go fast, you'll want to destroy all, dang nabbit. That was bad. Anyways, yeah, you'll want to try and destroy all the containers, because it'll just make the next wave spawn faster. The only downside is that fake one up there, if you destroy it, it drops to the ground and releases a shockwave. I'm at low health, so I don't feel like dealing with that. So let's just do that instead. Yeah, that the Mega Man and base version of that boss is much worse. For those who aren't aware, basically you have to like stand on a platform that's lowering into lava to get the boss to reveal itself, and then you have to shoot at it whilst like hopping on the platform to make sure it doesn't fall and stuff. It's just a pain. Yep, too soon. Whatever. Not what I meant to do, but we'll take it. Yep. For this section, you'll hopefully see me not screw it up, but basically you'll want to be at really low health by the time that you get to the end, because there's a way that you can skip a good portion of the lead up to the boss just by doing a death warp, since it sets the checkpoint at that point. So, I'm picking up some allies and getting myself hit. Man's here, my dog's freaking out upstairs. Oh well. This part can kind of stink, because obviously you can get pinned, and that's not good. Alright. Should have just the right amount of health to die. There we go. Alright. So, this boss is easy if it decides to be agreeable. Unfortunately, the horizontal parts there, they expand. They don't actually take any damage. So we just don't want those portions to pop out. What would be nicest is if it fully, it can like unlock everything and do this. That is good. But yeah, the hope would be that it would do that earlier, and that way you can get rid of the horizontal segments, and that way they just can't spawn by themselves. One thing I thought was weird is the why the castle map doesn't actually like make sense in comparison to the stage layouts. Okay, it's reset. Really? There we go. That was bad. Just gonna take it safe then. Okay. But yeah, like this stage pretty much goes entirely to the right. And on the actual wide of the map, it was not doing that.
Dragoon, is it okay if I just kind of butt in?
Oh yeah.
Quick second. Awesome, cool. Yeah, no further donations, but I just did want to say what's up to everybody that's popping in chat. Good to see you all. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever the time is, wherever you're at. Just wanted to plug again that we have a bid war going on for Mega Man 9. Slurpy Ninja is going to be doing that run between it's an any percent run or Buster only. Any percent's in the lead with $75, and Buster only is sitting at 51. So if you want to see that Buster only run, just get those donations in and put it towards that incentive. We also have the Super Mario 64 no LBLJ 60-star run. $500 sitting at $250 right now. So get those donations in if you want to hit those incentives. Thank you.
So for the base fight here, it's fairly straightforward. Yeah, as you can see, it's just a lot of kind of back and forth and making sure to hit him. He does have one additional move he might not do, where he, yep, never mind. There it is. Hey. So the main thing that we're hoping for here is to not have this happen, but it's happening anyways. He takes forever to get to the right side, so you'll hopefully defeat him on the right side so you don't have to deal with that. And that part wasn't too bad, but it's always a pain. Let's go get some oil. Really? Oh, I am out. That's not good. Okay. I was wondering why things weren't working. That would explain it. Okay. Well, that was poor management on my part, but we're here, and we'll beat the boss. This one we're just hoping for some good luck. It's got a few different things that it can do, but what we're hoping for is for it to just drop into the ground and then reappear right afterwards. We'll see how well that goes. One thing I do like about this fight that I wish there were more of in Mega Man games is just the fact that using more than one special weapon on it is actually beneficial. There we go. Yeah, that was the best we could have gotten luck-wise, so. Alrighty. Everyone's favorite part, the refights. That's a lie. I don't know anyone that likes the refights. But yeah, the way that the bosses are laid out is the exact same as the stage select screens. The first four on the left side, then the last four on the right side. This time I'm obviously going to try and not take too much damage from him since, you know, we have to have our health carry on. So I'm going to do a little bit of actual dodging. do a little bit better this time around, at least. There we go. Relatively quick. Nope, wrong weapon. Ignite it. Oh, well, there's one. And there's two. Looks like chat was correct. Yep, too early. Really? Oh my goodness, why am I screwing that up? Anyways, you can actually knock his flash bombs back at him. I just failed to. Alright, nothing too fancy here. Oh, wasn't expecting him to do a short hunt, but whatever. Ah, too early. If you time it correctly, you can slide into him on that last hit so that you basically get the energy right away. One benefit of this search fight is they actually start you directly within slashing range. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's hope I get good luck this time around too. I have a feeling that will not be the case, but we'll see. There we go. Had to happen eventually. But yeah, there are times when it just feels like he does nothing but the spin, and it just takes forever. Alrighty. Hope for a stun lock. The only real downside is that the homing missiles can target the orbs as well. There we go. What am I doing? Okay.
So just plugging in again, we're getting really close to this run possibly finishing. So bid war still active, any percent, $75 in the lead. Buster only sitting at 51. trailing just a little bit behind. Slurpee Ninja will be up next with his Mega Man 9 run after this one.
Okay. So yeah, as you can see, if you hit the cannon as it's trying to fire, you can basically stop it. Yeah. That wasn't good. There we go. Alright. And this form isn't too terribly bad, so hopefully I won't have to use the rush healing, but it's time.
Nice, GG.
Thanks. Just let everyone listen to the fun credit song.
Yeah. Chat, get your jam emotes. Also, just want to hop in real quick. Just want to say, Creamy Spoonful, thank you so much for the raid. Raiders, welcome to Slurpathon IX. We are raising funds directly supporting the Alberta Children's Miracle Network hospitals. We just had Chill Dragoon with an awesome Mega Man 8 run. How are you feeling? You got anything to say before we go to the break screen?
No, good luck to everyone else. Hope everything runs smoothly.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Well, everybody in chat, just stick around. We're going to be going to the Be Right Back screen, and we're going to have Slurpy Ninja bringing it back with some Mega Man 9 for the Mega Man block, kicking off Slurpathon 9, Day 2. See y'all shortly.